You know, the world of DC Comics is a very weird place. Same with Marvel. I'd say comics in general, very weird place right now. There's a lot of crap going on that is just not good. Not good at all. On Marvel's front, you've got a bunch of social justice warrior writers that come in and absolutely just destroy legacy characters by trying to interject their own personal politics. And on the DC side of things, you got them going a little bit harder, a little bit crazier, a little bit darker, and then the Christians come out and try to censor them to the point of where DC actually listened to people who probably don't actually purchase DC Comics. So what they did is they canceled the Second Coming. No, not the actual Second Coming, right? They didn't cancel the Rapture. But they did cancel a comic book that was called The Second Coming. And what this was is a comic book from Mark Russell about Jesus coming back and getting a room, essentially, with someone who is kind of like Superman, essentially. Or in this case, Sunman, and Jesus Christ star in Second Coming, when the last son of Crispix meets the Son of God. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's a tongue-in-cheek DC Black imprint, pretty much, or well, I don't know if it's going through Vertigo, but they pulled it. They pulled it. Not to say that the guys who created it don't get to keep the rights to it. They actually negotiated to keep the rights, so it will be published under probably somebody else here down the road, someone who won't crumble at a petition online. I would say, what is it? The Arctic. But nah, they would, one person tweets negatively at them, they're done. But essentially what happened here is, a conservative Christian site was not too happy with this. In fact, they put out this petition: DC Comics to release blasphemous series about Jesus. And of course, they tout their thing here, saying that it's canceled. But this is what they said to them here. Dear DC Comics Board and Management, I am appalled at your decision to publish Second Coming, a comic that features Jesus Christ as a clueless superhero sidekick. In a recent interview with Bleeding Cool, author Mark Russell described the concept behind his upcoming comic. He says, God was so upset with Jesus' performance the first time he came to Earth, since he was arrested so soon and crucified shortly after, that he has kept him locked up since. In Russell's comic series, Jesus comes back to Earth as the roommate of an all-powerful superhero named Sunman. Would DC Comics publish similar content about other religious leaders, such as Muhammad or Buddha? The content is inappropriate and blasphemous and should be immediately pulled from your publishing schedule. And 230,000 people signed this petition. Nearly 250,000 people signed a petition about a fictional Jesus living with a fictional Superman knockoff in order to learn the ways of being a hero, because he done goofed a long time ago, over 2,000 years ago. He done goofed. So that was his punishment. And he came back, and that was it. It's a dumb concept. It's not something I would particularly read, but it's something to chuckle at, because it's a what if scenario, right? And if you ask a lot of religious people, they're like, oh, what if Jesus comes back? Well, what's going to happen then? Or what if this happens? Or what if that happens? Now, I will say that the petition has one particular point that is true that it makes. Would DC print something like this about Muhammad or Buddha? Buddha, probably. It's Buddha. Buddha don't care. Buddha's like the honey badger of religions. He doesn't care. Of religious deities. He don't give a shit. But Muhammad, yeah, they got a point on that front. But it also kind of feels like a bit of a subtle threat, doesn't it? Especially if you look back at the whole, shootout in France. A lot of people got killed over the magazine posting an image of Muhammad. You know, you've got that situation that's happened. People have died for publishing it. Comedy Central kind of freaked out when South Park was going to do it on the Cartoon Wars episodes, and they were going to show Muhammad, but they came in last minute and censored the episode, fearing what could be a potential actual backlash. This is coming off of 9/11. And then, of course, you had the incident with France a couple years ago. So, it's a big thing. There's been real world ramifications for this kind of stuff. So I can see why DC might want to pull it. And I can see why this particular Christian-based petition would want to argue it. because it's a solid bargaining tactic. You wouldn't want it to happen to you, would it? Not saying we're going to shoot up your place, but it's happened with Muhammad. And we all know that sometimes Christian fundamentalists have been known to blow shit up, like Planned Parenthoods, things like that. So I get why they did it. But at the same time, it's not just this, I think, that happened. It's kind of an amalgamation of stuff, right? It's DC got themselves in a bit of hot water with another property, Batman Damned, which was a big thing a couple months ago when Batman's penis became the subject of controversy because it was shown on a couple different panels in the first issue of this Batman Damned, which was basically what if Batman killed the Joker, and it was him dealing with that. So, they sold out. 100,000 copies sold out. DC refused to reprint it with the dick pics intact, so they scrubbed it. Then that next run, the next issue sold out. A lot of orders came in for Batman Damned #3, and that has since been pulled as well. The DC Black imprint, basically at this point, is dead, and that's kind of where Second Coming got nailed with it as well. So that's where DC is right now. They're freaking out over something that sold really well based upon a kind of a non-existent controversy. A bunch of people who don't buy comics upset that there's going to be a fictional story about Jesus coming back to do better without ever having read a page of it. So they don't know the context. They just know the premise, and that was enough to set them off. So yeah, it goes to show you there's some problems here. Comic books, you know what? Say what you will about Comicsgate, but they at least know what they want. They at least go after what they want. And a lot of people see this kind of stuff. They see DC back down. They see DC kind of cuck themselves over this. And they look at something like Comicsgate and they go, yeah, maybe that's where the future is. The future is where the entertainment is. That's not going to be hindered by a petition or by the fear of controversy over a penis. Maybe the future is going to be there. And that's where you're going to see people, more and more people traveling over to that while the comics industry continues to dwindle. And even though comic book movies do very, very, very well, it doesn't really trickle down. Reaganomics doesn't apply in this particular situation. But I leave it to you. Your thoughts or your opinions. Let me know down below. If you guys made it this far in the video, do me a solid, type Jesus into the chat and give it a thumbs up while you're at it. We might be getting hit with a bunch of dislikes from some people, so feel free to combat that with your own like campaign. If you want to support the channel, streamlabs.com/MundaneMatt, great place to do that. Or you can join the channel, link below as well. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out. Hey, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Since you're here, why don't leave a comment? Let me know what you think about stuff. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do that as well. And you check out any of these great, fantastic, amazing commentary tracks by me. That's right. I'm not egotistical and narcissistic at all. I'm just your average, everyday, normal YouTuber. Thanks for watching.